Boseak. A little bit different today. We're going to talk about
Back.
evolution.
Yeah. Is that what we're doing today? Evolution?
Yeah. That's one of your big things, right? Well, you're interested in
I'm
it.
a believer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I think we came to be, yeah.
But first, I want Rob to pull up the guy that's blind. We can't play it, but just a picture of him. What's his name?
Blind Fury. Shouts out to Blind Fury.
This we can't play it because of the copyright, but this guy
Yo,
can rap
I
like
try and put
crazy.
everybody up on Fury.
Picture of him?
Yeah, it's just a picture of him. The guy's completely blind and can rap like crazy.
People don't
Constantly
know
with
is
the bottle of
he's been
fucking
around
vodka.
for a long time. He's been doing his thing since back in the day. He was on BET, you know what I mean, where they used to batter. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah, 106 in Park. He's been around for
that guy right
for
there.
a minute.
Yep, that's him right there. Guy's blind, can rap like crazy. Look at this guy.
There he is.
Yeah, he's from
He's
he's
got
from North
girls all
Carolina
over
or
him,
South
yeah.
Carolina. Yeah, one of them.
That's
Look
him
at
right
that.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I fucks with him, man. I try and put everybody up on Fury. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
You gotta play that just.
if you're a fan of hip hop, or if you're a fan of hip hop and like real like people who can like really like lyrically like rhyme and
Yeah.
you know what I mean, take you on a journey. He's definitely and he's definitely one of those people. And not only does he rap, he sings as well. He plays the piano.
I remember I saw him playing the piano.
You know what I mean? So
How
like
do you
yeah.
play the piano blind?
It's all.
I guess
well, I
the
mean, it
feeling.
makes sense.
Touch and feel, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you've always been blind, it just
You're used to it.
it makes sense.
Yeah, you just.
He's born blind. He's always blind his whole life. He doesn't. I remember one podcast they were trying to explain to him what a mirror is.
Yeah, can you imagine if you don't know what something is, you can't physically see it to try to figure out.
So who knows what
That's
kind of
tough.
picture you have in your head because you've never
Yeah.
seen anything.
Yeah.
So what is even a shape? I mean,
Color.
do you get it by feel and then visualization? Like the whole there's a disconnect there.
Yeah,
so it's pretty
that's
wild.
how it's gotta be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's by feeling.
hmm I work with a dude at the tattoo shop. He's completely deaf. He's been deaf his whole life.
Any tattoos?
He's a bad motherfucker.
Hmm.
Bad motherfucker.
Well, when you tattoo, that kind of goes by like the vibration and the,
You don't.
the
I don't
feeling.
know.
I mean, do you really
know,
need to hear?
I don't know. No, fuck no.
Yeah.
But his world's a lot different. His world's a lot quieter.
yeah,
So he can just
he can
fucking
can
just
focus
zoom
down.
in, and there's you don't. Everything else is just turned off.
Yeah, so that's a benefit, but the rest of it
I think
sucks.
honestly, I think he's fucking has an advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, not he does draw a lot, and he's a great artist. And I'm sure he's been doing it his whole life. But there's that. I feel like there's a slight advantage there. Just a slight advantage.
At that
His
during
disadvantage
his
is a slight advantage to
work.
fucking
yeah
to what he does.
Some,
Yeah.
some days we'd like to be deaf, right? There's
Yeah.
just
Oh
some
yes.
days.
Oh
Some
yes.
days.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want it back. But if I
Sure.
could temporarily be deaf for a few hours a day, that'd be great.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, it would definitely be my hearing rather than my sight.
Sure.
Oh no, you lose your sight. Fucked. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, can you pull up that picture that I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on evolution? I
I
mean,
what are
well,
my
do
thoughts?
you believe like in the Big Bang theory? I mean, not do you believe in it, but that like an asteroid hit. And
Big Bang Theory is
microorganisms-
one of those things, man, where there's just so many different theories.
So here you have
Big
the-
Bang, I don't know. I don't really believe that we don't know dick about anything else, but we know how the universe was created and how everything came into existence. I don't know. It's a theory. I mean, I don't know. I don't really believe in the Big Bang Theory. I think there's always been universes, and maybe that the Big Bang did exist, but it was just one of many that happened. You know what I mean? Like in just grand fucking. You know what I mean? So it's
I
like
think they're happening. I think that
like if you zoom way out,
yeah,
and you look at like all the galaxies and like all the fucking
billions
possibilities
of
yeah,
Earth-like planets.
Yeah.
I know they have a telescope in Chile,
Yes.
and in that one, they've been able to see that these Big Bang things, they're happening all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't read that or heard
It's not-
that, but
yeah, I read this stupid shit.
sure.
But so it's not just one that happened here; they're constantly happening.
I was watching a doc about a week ago, and they were talking about they found a baby Neanderthal skeleton in a cave somewhere, perfectly preserved.
I saw it. Yep.
And they analyzed the DNA from that, and they sequenced it with our own. And they're saying that there's no way that we came from Neanderthals. Like they're not in our lineage.
So how do you explain that?
Genetic manipulation by extraterrestrials, maybe. I mean, that's just one wild ass fucking theory that they came down and they were like, because I mean, listen, with a house cat, with the cat that's in your house, we have 99% of our DNA is the same.
Yeah.
With a house cat.
Same with a rat.
And with the frog.
Yeah.
A frog.
And
it's just in how the genes are expressed, how they're turned on or off, that dictate, you know, which features are expressed in our, you know, that come out in the genes.
An octopus is the closest. They're basically human.
So think about a civilization of extraterrestrials from a distant galaxy, distant solar system who have mastered gene manipulation, just as we have, because we've sequenced the entire human genome. It was called the Human Genome Project. We've done it. We did it in like 1996. It cost like billions and millions of dollars. Now we can do it for just a couple $100. But we've sequenced our own DNA. We broke it all down. We know the double helix, and we understand. You know, we have a basic understanding. But take what we did and give it another 200 years, and then imagine a different civilization.
10,000 years.
Imagine a different civilization already conquering that.
Yeah.
Coming here millions of years ago, and then, you know, Neanderthals were roaming the planet, and they're like, you know, they analyzed the DNA of the Neanderthal, and they're like, you know, this isn't very good,
working,
but we can tweak it a little bit.
Almost like just like throwing a seed down.
It's a wild fucking theory, and it's like science fiction, dude, but it's
but it makes sense though. I mean, to me it does at least.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the premise of like one of the Alien movies.
Yeah.
The Ridley Scott film, Prometheus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but it's not that far. I mean, I know it seems to people who don't really understand, like, you know, human genome sequencing and fucking, you know, evolution and like all that, you know, is a product of adaptation, environmental influences on the human genome, all that shit. If people who don't understand that are like, that's Hollywood, you know, science fiction, but really it's feasible.
What makes sense to me is that like they started with the Homo sapiens,
Hopithecus, then the Homo habilis, the erectus, then you've got the Neanderthals, and then us. But what they're saying is this first lineage makes sense when the genome is sequenced. But when they sequence our genome with the Neanderthals, who were supposed to be like just the right before us, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't match up.
It doesn't make sense.
So to me, it's kind of like this is another wild theory type of thing, but this is just what I think, right? So
we're not scientists.
Yeah,
so.
no, we're just guessing pretty much, or calculating what we think.
We're guesstimating.
And I think like extraterrestrial aliens, whatever the fuck you want to call them, they threw like a fucking seed down to try to build this planet. Really. And then, you know, they ate the fucking mushrooms and all that other shit and you know, expanded over a period of time. But then I think that it got to the Homo sapien, and then they're like, what the fuck? This shit just isn't fucking working. And they came back down and threw another fucking seed, and now this one worked. That's what makes sense to me.
That's one theory.
I mean, I don't see any other way.
I mean, listen. I mean, we could have. We probably did the the robustus, the habilis, the erectus, and the Neanderthals probably all came from monkeys.
Yeah.
They probably all came from apes, and that was the natural evolution of on our planet.
Yeah.
But us, I think that we're part some of our gene was taken from Neanderthal, and I think some of our gene was taken from, you know, whatever else, and they made us.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say that's what I think because that's pretty crazy, but it's
your hypothesis.
I'm open to whatever because I don't, you know what I mean. I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in like God per se. Like I'm not, and I wouldn't call myself an atheist, but I don't believe that we were created like the Bible says, and there's a God and a Jesus and a heaven and a hell and all that shit. I don't believe in any of that. You know what I mean? And if you do, I'm sorry, but you know, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
whoever's watching.
Hey, whoever's watching.
Yeah.
I just don't believe in that. You know, I just don't, and for a lot of reasons that I just probably can't even get into right now. But this is something that is tangible. It's something that you can conduct an experiment and you can see results from that experiment in the physical world that's you know, that's reasonably justifiable in front of my eyes, and that is the best that I think I'm gonna get.
Well, remember we were saying we go by facts. what you can actually see. And this shit you can actually see.
Yeah, I mean, we know a lot about, like I said, the human gene, the human genome. We know a lot, so it's not very far fetched to think that there's a missing link somewhere. Like they've been saying, forever. They've forever been saying there's a missing link.
Well, and then on top of that, it took forever for them to evolve.
And that's what they're saying.
And then all of a sudden, what, 10,000 years?
That's what they're saying is it happened too fast. Between Neanderthals and where we it happened too fast.
Yeah, because these guys were millions and millions of
years.
Even
given maybe a great length of just weather that was perfect for life on this planet. I mean, the most ideal conditions for life on this planet. Be that what it may, it still doesn't explain how fast the humans developed.
No, it was like overnight in
evolutionary
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, when you look at a tiger and a cat, you can't fucking tell me you don't see that fucking cat and a tiger. Or a dog and a wolf. What, are you going to try to tell me that they don't look similar?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, when there's, different species of the same animal, that tells you that there's some kind of evolution going on.
Yeah.
Period. So, yeah, evolution is a direct product of adaptation. I firmly believe that.
Well, whales have, like, their own language. They feel, they have consciousness. And an octopus is basically human.
Yeah, I've read the studies on the octopus, and I'm skeptical.
But if they're right, pretty fucking
I think maybe they're just, taking something and calling it something else. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't buy into it.
They're calling it like the human underwater. Is basically what they say.
I've read the papers and I've watched a couple of docs on it. And I don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
No, I think that's just a bunch of fucking hippie nippy bullshit from fucking some scientists who are trying to fucking, I don't know. I don't believe it.
But you do think that whales...
I think they're applying something where it doesn't need to be applied.
But what about whales, though?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, the bigger the mammal, the more intelligent. The bigger the brain, the more intelligent the mammal. And then, like I said, it's all about whatever environment that animal grows up in. I mean, I think the octopus is smart, but it's just like it crawls on the bottom of the ocean. It interacts with thousands of objects on a daily basis, and over millions of years, unchecked, doing so, it's going to seem like it has intelligence. You know what I mean? But it's just a functioning organism that, you know what I'm saying? Come on, it's not doing long fucking calculus. You know what I mean? It's not building civilizations. It's not, you can't take it out of the water and let it evolve and no, come on.
I do think that whales, though. I think they're at the top of the game.
What about dolphins?
Or dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins are smart too.
Because they have conscience.
They're intelligent.
It's been proven that they have conscience.
They talk to each other underwater to like locate and
they got sonar and echolocation. They have little chirps and pings but that's just, it's their environment. And like I said, it goes back to evolution being a product of adaptation. You know what I'm saying? And the environment is the ultimate factor in which can cause outside change to, slowly over long periods of time.
Now, what do you think happened with the Ice Age? What's your opinion on that?
What do you mean?
Like, what do you think?
The planet started fucking warming. The planet started warming, the ice started melting, and then there was more land to absorb the fucking...
Well, I mean, we got hit. We got rocked.
That caused the Ice Age.
Yeah, that caused the Ice Age. Yeah. And then all the dust went up, covered the clouds, no sun, wax them out.
Yeah. Wiped out the dinosaurs. Yeah, it was like 24 million years ago or something like that, 26 million years ago.
Yeah.
You know what they say, 5 minutes either way, that comet would have missed the Earth.
Yeah.
Or whatever that hit us. The asteroid or whatever it was.
I think, there was more than one, right?
I don't know if they say it was a comet or it was an asteroid, but no, it was just one. It hit off the Yucatan Peninsula. And
it fucking leveled
that was
shit.
It was a worldwide event.
Yeah. And just wiped everything out.
Yeah, wiped everything out. But, we got super volcanoes that could go off at any minute. You know what I'm saying? The big one hasn't happened yet in our entire fucking lifetime.
What's with the volcano thing? I was reading something about it, but I didn't finish it.
There's volcanoes that if they go off, it's just like an asteroid hitting the Earth. There's going to be so much smoke and fucking ash in the atmosphere that the global temperatures are going to fall. There's going to be drought, famine, all kinds of crazy shit.
Do you believe in climate change?
Hell yeah. I'm a firm believer in climate change.
But it's happened forever. It's happened since
It's happened naturally since the beginning of time over longer periods of time. But the rate at which it's happening right now, the rapid rate every year is hotter than the year before for the past fucking 10 years. And every year just keeps getting hotter. The hurricanes keep getting more intense. The flooding's getting worse. The fucking winters are getting colder and fucking harsher. The more snowfall.
So you don't think it's a scam?
Yeah, it's 1,000% proven by every fucking scientist with a brain in his skull on the planet.
Yeah.
We fucked this planet up through fucking the Industrial Revolution, putting all of this fucking pulling fossil fuel out of the ground and putting it into the air is probably not the best fucking idea.
And
It causes a greenhouse effect, which causes fucking carbon dioxide to build up in the atmosphere, which raises global temperatures, which fucking melts the polar ice caps, which raise ocean levels, which fucking fucks people up on the coast. It's a fucking chain of events that's real, and anybody that fucking says it's not, well, you're just a fucking retard.
And on top of that, burning all that trash. I think that's a big part of it too.
Everything we're doing. Everything
Yeah.
we're doing. The fossil fuels, the coal, the fucking natural gas, all of that needs to go away. You know what I mean? All of it needs to stop. Period. Or we're going to poison ourselves to death, and this world that we live in is going to be uninhabitable in 100 years.
So do you think it's a good thing that...
So fuck all them coal jobs. Fuck all them gas jobs. Okay? You fucking fat slob, white trash motherfuckers need to go fucking get an education, and you know what I mean? Stop being proud to work on an oil rig, you know what I mean? You fucking redneck, and go get a fucking real life. You know what I mean? You know, because they just don't give a fuck. They get this paycheck, and they got their family on the ranch, and they get the big truck. You know what I mean? They got the kids, and it's like, listen, you motherfuckers don't understand that you are destroying the planet that you live on. You're fucking destroying it. Fuck those jobs, man.
So do you think it's a good thing that California wants to go all electric?
Man, California is...
I mean, I know it's a shithole to live in, but I mean that...
I guess it's a
that
good thing.
law.
Yeah, I agree with that being a good thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, don't you guys think that the whole, like, we could do our part, right? Everyone can agree with that, right? But the whole world has to do it too. Like,
Yeah.
if we start doing it, China got to do this shit too, and Japan's got to do this
Yeah.
shit, and Russia's got to do this shit.
But everybody's ahead of us already.
But are they? Like, is China? You think
Well,
China is?
no, China, they don't give a fuck over there. There is no EPA over there. They put whatever toxins they want right into the fucking...
They don't have any EPA over there?
Yeah, they do, but everything's ran by the government in China.
Yeah.
The government owns everything and everybody. You can't... an individual person can't have a company in China because the government can be like, that's mine.
Because it's like, you know, like, you can recycle, but if
Yeah.
everybody else ain't fucking recycling, it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that, but then again, the U.S. we're the world's, not only the leading pollution, but we are the world's leading consumers, which leads me to a whole nother thing: the whole consumer,
What do you mean by
fucking
that?
the whole consumer, shit that we live in. Like the consumption, just consume, constantly eating up the world's fucking resources for shit that's disposable, or shit that's reusable, or shit that, there's no quality control. They just want to pump as many products they can out the door to get a profit. They don't care about the quality of the product. You know what I mean? I could sell this piece of shit fucking computer, but if I could sell it for $10 and sell 10,000 of them, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck it, let's dig up all the resources. Give me the nickel, give me the copper, give me the fucking, you know what I mean? Let's dig more holes in the earth. Let's fucking... You know what I mean? And then the chemical processing that goes into manufacturing these things over there or wherever, it's just like it puts more. It's the whole thing.
What's the chemical process?
All these
guess-
polymers and the glass and making the silicon
Oh, yeah,
chips and the
yeah.
fucking all the factories that they have to run for all of that. You got chemicals, dude.
They're putting. That's all putting. shit in
Yeah,
there.
it's all fucking. It's all chemicals, man. And it's just like it's all fucked up. We're killing ourselves and we're killing the planet for what? For profit.
Yeah.
Just greed. For
Greed.
greed.
Yeah, and it will never change.
No, well,
Unfortunately, it won't.
this is our nature.
Yeah.
It's our human nature. It's because of evolution that we are making all of these bad decisions. You know what I mean? Because what was once good for us in evolution, that's helped us throughout millions of years, hunting and gathering and, being able to be alert and, in the woods and learning how to, all of these things. Now, because we live in such a perverse society where everything is just fucking bloated, overinflated, over-exaggerated. Everything's 1,000% to the core, to the max, to the fucking moon, bigger, faster, greater, harder, fucking taller. You know what I mean? Like, that's just fucking the world we live in now. So all of our natural senses are out of sync with all of these new technologies.
We're adapting. Now we're adapting to this shit, right?
I think the next step in human evolution is going to be electronic.
Completely.
Yeah, we control our environment, so we no longer, our physical bodies no longer have to adapt to the natural world, because we are removed from the natural world now. You know what I mean? We no longer are in harmony with the natural world like our ancestors were. We live outside of the natural. We think we live in the natural world, but this isn't natural. You know what I mean? These houses, these condos, these high rises, these, you know, you never wear, your foot never touches the dirt ever. I can't remember the last time my bare foot was on the fucking ground outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not natural. That's not natural. So it's like, you know, everything that we do is just, it's getting faster and faster. So it's like something's going to have to happen.
And the body adapts.
We're going to force the body to adapt now.
Well, it's already been forced.
Yeah.
You know
Neuralink and whatever else is coming down the pipeline after Neuralink.
I mean, like the body adapts. So like back in the day, you walked around with no shoes on. So you could walk in fucking nails and it wouldn't hurt. Now you walk in the grass and there's a sharp piece of grass, it fucking hurts. You know, so like you're losing that evolutionary instinct that you had before. And now it's just this electronic shit.
We're going to live inside of this fucking machine, this matrix, man. It's coming. You know, it's coming. And nobody realizes it.
And what do you think's going to happen?
I mean,
well, that's the next step in evolution.
Yeah, that's our next step in evolution is we're just going to be living inside of the machine, you know. Outside's going to be closed.
Yeah.
You know, can't go outside. There's viruses and fucking, you know, robbers and, you know, all kinds of weird shit going on. So we're all going to live inside this Ready Player One-esque world. And that's just going to be, everything's going to be automated. You know, and Amazon's going to fucking fly your fucking drones to your house with your fucking underwear and your groceries. And yeah, dude, you're just going to fucking...
Now, do you think that this COVID was the first example of biowarfare?
COVID.
Like we're relating that to evolution, as in pushing us to the next step.
Yeah, I think
you
COVID. I think COVID. I don't know, man. I don't really know. I don't know. I don't want to fucking get put on a list on YouTube for talking about fucking COVID, because I've already got fucking fucked up over the mask video, dude. So it's like,
I don't know. I think it's the first thing in biowarfare. I think it was kind of a little test shot to see what would happen, what it would do, and then that pushes you to evolve.
It's a
because
possibility.
Now you have to evolve.
It's a possibility. Anything's possible.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm an idiot.
I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with evolution. But fuck no. I think that man, this is such fucking COVID. Who knows, man? I mean, it definitely could have been. It definitely could have been man-made. It definitely could have been a bioweapon. It definitely could have happened in nature, which no scientist says happened. But
who knows? We'll never know really what happened.
It's one of those things, man. I don't know.
And now you were talking about
10 years from now or 20 years from now, they're gonna do some study and they're gonna come out with they're gonna publish some fucking paper and it's gonna be like, oh, this and that.
And this is what happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what do you now? You were saying about quantum theory.
Quantum computers or quantum theory? Two
quantum
different things.
Theory. Explain that.
Oh, I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, the best you can.
I don't even want to take a stab at that. I barely understand it, and I don't want to make myself look stupid. Yeah. Quantum computers, on the other hand, I do know.
Look up quantum theory, please. Mm-hmm. What's the quantum computer?
Quantum computing is the way. Okay, this is the way it was. From my understanding, it's like you tell the computer to find a word in a book in a library. It's basically what it is. And so our modern computers have to go through every book one by one and go through every page, and they scan it. But they do it quickly, has to scan every page until it finds the answer. Quantum computers can look in all the books at once to find the answer immediately at the same time.
Is that big ass computer they have at
because it breaks it. So what it does is it breaks it down to like a molecular level, and an atom can either be maybe I'm fucking this up.
It's right on the screen here. Well, the theory, quantum theory.
Yeah, so the quantum theory is the theoretical basis of modern physics that explains the nature and behavior of matter and energy on the atomic and subatomic level. Yeah, so it just expands. Yeah, so it basically, quantum theory, and then
go back.
They're talking about Planck, which
click on what is quantum theory.
It just told you what quantum theory is. Right there.
Well,
that's
I don't
what.
Understand what the fuck that just.
Okay,
said.
so let me break it down for you then.
Blow that up, Rob.
So in every living thing on this planet, there's particles, okay, at like a subatomic level. There's atoms, you know what I mean, and each atom is fucking positively and negatively charged, and like atoms can either fucking so what it does is quantum theory is just it explains how all of these things affect the natural world that we live in. It basically breaks life all the way down to the atomic level, and then proceeds to explain how everything interacts with it. This goes back to my fucking tattoo on my head being like my theory about the whole universe being connected, like on like a subatomic level.
There's like a development of quantum theory. In 1900, Planck made the assumption energy was made of individual units or quanta. In 1905, Albert Einstein theorized that not just the energy, but the radiation itself was quantized in the same manner.
Yeah, it's deep, dude. Once you get into it, once you get deep into it,
you go down a black fucking
hole.
I
read, like I said, I've probably read all of this. I've watched all the videos. I've never like studied and like been to like a like school or whatever. I've never gone to college for.
I mean, I remember Quantum Leap, the show.
I wasn't in astrophysicist or anything, but this just seems to be extremely interesting. So I read everything I can on it, and I pay attention to like all the papers being published and like the science journals and everything.
Did you
like
ever see
that.
Brian Cox?
Who?
Brian Cox. He's like the head guy in this quantum theory shit.
No, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's fun because it's almost like science fiction. It's so fucking far out there, some of this shit, that it's almost like science fiction, and that's why I enjoy it.
The problem is it's fucking real.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's everything. It's the natural world that we live in.
Because they were what were they doing? They were banging. They had they built that like machine where they were throwing an atom at something.
It's called CERN.
Yeah,
it's the Large Hadron Collider, and it's under fucking France and Switzerland.
What's it called?
The Large Hadron Collider. What they're doing is they're slinging particles around at the speed of light and crashing them into each other to try and figure out, how the building particles for life came about at the Big Bang. Now, there's a conspiracy theory that says this is crazy. I've been, if you dive down this rabbit hole, the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. Have you heard about the Mandela effect? You don't know what the Mandela effect is?
Do you?
I heard of it.
Pull up the Mandela effect. And so the Mandela effect is certain people remember certain things one way for historical events, and there's like a sector of people who remember it other ways. Like things being spelt different, people dying at certain dates when they didn't, fucking all kinds of weird shit throughout history that's like, no, I remember it one way, and the other people's like, no, I remember it the other way. Refers to a situation in which a large mass of people believes that an event occurred when it did not. And it's called the Mandela effect because I thought Nelson Mandela died way back when, in like the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
He didn't.
That's why they call it that.
And people were like, wait a minute. No. Sure. I distinctively remember the funeral. I remember the news headlines. I remember all of that distinctly. But no, he didn't. He died in fucking like just quite recently, actually.
Is that like,
wouldn't that be like deja vu?
Yeah.
Kinda, not really, but deja vu is when you feel like you've done this before, if you've already experienced it.
Now, with the deja vu, that's when I go into the dimensions.
I read a whole. I just actually read this whole study on deja vu and how it's like related to the chemical process in the brain, in which the subconscious mind is transferring information between neurons. So like something that's like you've done something before, that's familiarity, that your brain has already created that pathway. So when you experience slightly the same thing again, instead of creating a new pathway, the brain just uses the same pathway as before as a way to like save like space, like you would on a hard drive, but it happens naturally in the brain, and then that they think that's when you get the illusion of deja vu. It's just a transfer of chemicals in the brain.
I think it's dimension. No, I really do. I think there's 5 dimensions, and I think when you're I don't know. I'm an idiot. I think when you're walking down the beach and you think you've been there, I think the energy from the other dimension may have just crossed over.
You should read about neuroscience, man, and chemicals, like how the chemical in our brain like dictate everything about us. Because that's just how the brain transfers information, through little electrical impulses and different chemicals that are manufactured and released at different times in our brain. That's what gives us our entire life experience.
So you don't think there's different dimensions?
Yeah, I don't. Not really quite sure.
buying that
Maybe
one.
I don't know. Maybe the whole multi-dimensional universe thing is like it's weird.
See, to me, that's.
But then again, it's physics. Like there's a lot of mathematicians out there that can write out a fucking formula and be like, this is fucking the formula for, the other dimension or whatever. Theoretically, it's theoretical science.
Just in my opinion, I'm positive there's other dimensions.
Listen,
and I think deja vu is the exact fact behind it.
Yeah, I think, you know what I think? I think physics is going to, the more of an understanding we have of physics, it's going to start unlocking a lot of the mysteries of the universe.
They're getting there, and they're getting
and
there
I'm talking
quick.
about deep space travel through wormholes and bending fucking light and, like really, like, I think physics is really, that's what's going to take us like Star Trek into the future.
Yeah, well, once we can develop a ship that doesn't have compulsion.
Yeah, propulsion.
Yeah, where there's nothing pushing out, where it beats gravity. Then we can do some shit.
But you got to travel at the speed of light.
And then you got to get through all the particles.
And even then, it takes a long time. So they're thinking like wormholes or something. Yeah. And I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah. But explain it.
So wormholes is say this is space, and you're trying to get from point A to point B, and instead of traveling this long ass distance, what they do is they bend space and time in on itself, and they travel through a shortcut.
Yeah.
It's called the Albert Einstein had the theory. It's called Eisen-Rosenbaum. I don't remember I don't want to slaughter the name of it.
Yeah, it's something like
something
that.
bridge.
Yeah.
And it's actually in the movie Thor.
Yeah.
And so I mean that's one theory, and maybe we'll figure it out, maybe we won't. But I think that those types of anything's possible through physics.
And if that is accurate, that would be a prime example how other life could have easily gotten here.
Yeah.
And then gotten back.
Yeah.
But we're moving quick.
We're exponentially. I think the next 10 or 20 years are going to be very interesting. The next 2 decades, I think you're going to see more change in the next 2 decades than we have in the past 10,000 years.
What do you see happening?
Our entire society is going to transform.
Well, I understand that it's going to be all AI.
Everything's going to be AI. Everything's going to be automated, and our lives are going to change. People who working, having a job per se isn't going to be like a thing anymore.
Do you think we'll do anything more in space, or do you think we'll kind of...
Well, yeah, that's going to be our main focus. Because listen, while we all down here no longer have to work and we're being entertained, all the rich people, the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos and everything, they're all trying to get the fuck off the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're all trying to get the fuck out of here because they see what's coming. Keep us fucking entertained. Saying we don't have to work no more. Give us money. Give us fucking, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's going to have to boil down to, because there just aren't going to be enough jobs on the planet to sustain our society.
So do you think we'll get to Mars in our lifetime?
Oh, yeah. We're going, man. We're going in the next, 5 years.
Like people?
We're going soon. Yeah, there's going to be... Elon Musk wants to put 1 million people on Mars by the year 2035 or 2040.
I think this year is going to be the first year. You have to have big bucks to do it, but you'll be able to travel to space. I'm almost positive.
There's 4 people going up right now.
Yeah, soon. And
they paid $26 million each or something like that.
But don't they have to go to the moon and then go from the moon to Mars?
No, we go straight from here to Mars. Eventually, they want to build a base on the moon and use that as a launching pad.
As a launching pad, right?
Because it doesn't have the Earth's gravity, and it's know what I mean. You just send the supplies up there, and they can manufacture the fuel up there, and then it would be more cost effective.
Yeah.
That's why they came up with space. What's it called?
Space Force.
Space Force, and people laugh at it, but you need that because
50 years from now, you know what I mean. It's
and you also need that militarily wise.
Satellites, everything that's up there, they could fuck with those satellites and shut everybody down.
It's definitely going to be a thing.
But I think this fuck wants to shut it down, doesn't he? I think he does.
Who?
Sleepy Joe.
Oh, I don't know about that. I didn't hear anything about that.
If they do, that's all a satellite. If Russia goes up there and fucks with a satellite,
it's over.
Fucking blow
I seen a meme the other day, and it showed Joe Biden signing on his first day of office, he had all them executive orders, and it said, one dummy with a pen is way more dangerous than one idiot with a Twitter account.
Yeah. Very true.
And I was like, wow, that puts a lot into perspective.
He is signing shit left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate the politics too. I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm over it, dude.
But it's just
I fucking hate
you see
that
some
shit.
of this shit and you're just like, what the fuck?
You know what it is? It's all corrupt. It's all
Yeah.
fucking power, money hungry, power hungry people. That's all it is, dude.
And they never get in any trouble.
And I hate it, man. Yeah,
and they never get in any fucking trouble.
I'm trying to fucking get my own goddamn money and build my own goddamn empire. You know what I mean? Fuck those people and the goddamn Democrats and the Republicans and the liberals and the fucking conservatives. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck all of that shit. It's retarded. It's all fucking retarded. Give me my money. You know what I mean? Give me my fucking money. Give me my house. And that's it. Fuck off.
Rob's got a crazy story. Do you mind telling that story about when your dad woke up? When your brother died? You're gonna this will fuck you up.
So you guys, you're talking about religion, right? And believing in God or not believing in God. So whatever. My dad is the least religious person you'll ever meet. Doesn't believe in God. He went to Catholic school though, and he told off the nun the one time, and I couldn't believe it. But anyhow, I was not home. My mom was not home. We were gone for the weekend somewhere, and my uncle had passed away. And again, my dad, not religious, doesn't believe in ghosts, doesn't believe in any of that shit. And he heard a noise in the house. He woke up, turned the lights on, thought somebody broke in the house. Nobody's there. He laid back down, went back to bed, and he started hearing like somebody walking in the room, and they were saying his name, like Bob, and he fucking jumped out of the bed. Nobody's there. Fell asleep, woke up the next morning. His sister-in-law called him early morning, and she said, hey, just want to let you know your brother passed away last night. And he said, well, when? About what time? And she said, about 1, 2 in the morning. And that was the time that he heard somebody walking around in the house and said his name.
It's weird.
And he don't believe in that stuff.
That's weird.
And for him to tell me that story took a lot. He don't believe
weird. It. And yeah, I mean, and I probably won't ever believe that until something like that happens to me. Because I'm just one of those kinds of people. Like, it needs to happen to me for me to believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to believe.
That's a fucking weird story, though, dude. I got to give it that.
But,
that's a fucking strange one. And that's not the first story I've heard like that. I've heard several stories like that.
And it's coming from somebody who doesn't believe that shit. So he don't believe in any of that. But
yeah.
For him to tell me that, and I was like,
but it's like, you know.
You drinking? Like, no.
When you die, who knows? You could maybe reach out through the ether. Like, you might see somebody's energy as you're going out, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know, dude, like, what happens.
See, that's what I think. A lot of this is energy.
That's what I think.
You know,
that's what I'm trying to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Like, at an atomic level,
yes,
I think there's like
energy.
some kind of energy that permeates throughout all living things and everything.
Yes.
Like, it's like a spider web that just wraps all. I'm telling you, man, it's
so
real.
when you die, I think you're in the ground and that's it. But the energy.
It's like turning off a light switch.
Yeah, it's over.
Your consciousness is gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
But I think energy, that it has to go somewhere, right? Don't you think? Or you think it's just all over? I always thought it was all over.
There's laws. There's basic laws of energy. Like, all energy, cannot be created or destroyed. It just is. You know what I mean? Like, you just transfer energy. It just goes from
transfer.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If I'm not fucking, I might be incorrect.
What's that, Rob?
So no, but I'm not saying it. So you're saying if you die, Tommy.
Yeah.
Anybody, I die. My energy's part of me. My energy leaves my body. That's what people would call the soul, maybe, right?
Yeah.
The soul, right?
And I think it just goes back, goes off into the ether.
But can it be passed to somebody else?
Who knows? That's what I'm saying. There could be any,
like my kids or
all kinds of possibility.
My wife, or that's the question. Where does that energy go? Does it go to someone else? Does it 10 years down the road go to? I mean, I don't know. I don't get it.
Listen, I used to date this girl back in the day, and she was a nurse that worked for Hospice. And she said she's been in the room with many people who have taken their last breath and expired, and she's watched them expire. And she said she's never seen anything or felt anything or nothing. She says it's just like they go to sleep, and that's it. And she said she's probably seen 20 old people just go.
But what does she expect to see?
I don't know. Like, I asked her, like, I was like, what happens? She's like, nothing. They just go to sleep. I was like, you don't ever like feel anything or see? She's like, no, never. I've never felt anything weird or seen anything or nothing.
But do you think that they don't have that energy? I mean, everyone has an energy.
But over 20?
But I'm saying, do you think that their energy isn't strong? Does that make sense? Like, they don't have this, not a belief, but this energy. They just have a weak energy. They have a weak and when they die, that's it.
Or maybe they're just not in tune with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you're in tune with it and you believe in this positive energy or whatever it is, this energy, and you firmly believe that energy grows, and that energy becomes something that when you do pass, that energy leaves. But if you don't believe, it's like, fuck this shit, and you just die.
Because you were talking about positive energy.
I believe in that.
Yeah, I believe in it, man. You know, I believe that for every action, there's a opposite and equal reaction in the universe and in life. So, you know, what goes around comes around, you know, like the butterfly effect kind of deal. You know, if you kick somebody in the nuts one day, dude, eventually that fucking somehow is going to travel back around to you. You know what I mean?
What's the ethium? Ether. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh, when I was like, your energy goes back out into the ether?
Yeah. Just into the universe?
Yes, the ether could be anything. That could be outer space, could be just be anywhere. Just like out into the ether. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But I don't think we're meant to know.
Maybe maybe it's just beyond our comprehension, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe some things are just going to be beyond our comprehension because our lives are not finite. We are not eternal. We only live for 100 years, so our perspective is limited to just our lifespan. When we know that there's a greater fucking, you know, timeline out there that I just don't think that our brains are even developed enough to even comprehend.
I got one more question. Talking about this. Walt Disney, he's dead, right? He's been dead for years.
They froze him.
He's frozen.
Cryogenically, yes.
Do you think
there's a factory with like 100 people in it?
Okay, so do you think that there's going to come a time where that frozen body can come back and remember life or what it was
in the same consciousness?
In the same consciousness.
I don't know, man.
Like, I'm Walt Disney. Like, he's a fucking big deal now, right?
Yeah.
Like, can he come back and be Walt Disney?
That's a good question.
Well, I think that eventually they're going to be able to scan the brain and take a picture of it and then recreate,
like clone it, basically.
But I don't think it'll be your same consciousness. I think it'll just be like a carbon copy. You know what I mean?
So it won't be you.
Who knows, man? What is conscious? That's the question. What is consciousness? What is the soul? I had to have this conversation with my dad. He's like a hardcore Christian. He's like, well, I was trying to talk to him about, you know, like transferring consciousness from the human brain into a computer, and like if he's like, well, John, you know, the soul goes to heaven.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, man, I can't even have a conversation with him, man. His brain isn't fucking.
Yeah, I think conscious is just feelings, right? It's like, but then you got subconscious, but that's still.
I think our consciousness can be defined as our ability to be present. And once we expire, once our heart stops and all of the neurons stop firing in our brain, I think that's just the end of our consciousness. I don't think, but then if there's some way able to reanimate that and it starts back up, who knows? Wouldn't you be conscious again? Yeah. Wouldn't it just start back up and the same pathways with the same memories and everything would just still be there? Everything would be there. It would just, you'd just be fucking turning it back on.
I just find it amazing. Walt Disney did this. How long has he been dead for? A while.
So wasn't it like a 60?
He died, and then they froze his body.
I guess he had in his will, or
I think they chopped his head off and froze it.
Oh, did they?
I don't know. Maybe that may be wrong. I don't know.
His body is apparently frozen, like
cryogenically frozen. There's a company and they got a whole warehouse and it's all people froze their goddamn pets.
So something he maybe knows or thought of back then that this could eventually evolve and he could and
maybe 100, 300 years from now he can come back.
He's like, because his goal was whatever killed him, they would have a cure for in the future, so that they could just bring him back and cure him. Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you got money, it's not a bad idea.
Hey,
it's a shot. Hey,
you can't take your money with you.
Yeah.
You can't take it with you. So when you go, you might as well just have a fucking that would be like the most eccentric rich guy thing to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's going to be my funeral. Stick me in a fucking tube, freeze me in a warehouse for the next 100, 200 years.
Yeah.
And then maybe I can come back.
Because maybe in 1,000 years they could whack him and bring him hit him with like a Narcan. And
maybe I can come back. They can just reanimate me, like reanimation.
No, I mean
200 years from now.
But I mean literally, maybe
after the next 10 world wars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe 500 years from now, they can really actually bring him back.
What if the
himself.
company goes under and they just turn off the lights? Like 50 years from now, like the company just goes under and they sell it and they just turn off the lights.
He'll come back and find out like Mickey Mouse has a boyfriend, and he'll be like, "What the fuck?
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened with this world? Mickey Mouse got a boyfriend."
He put me back in the freezer.
Yeah, put me back. Bring me back in 500 more fucking years.
What the fuck?
Fuck this shit.
Put me back in the freezer. That's what Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, that's what Sylvester Stallone said.
Yeah.
In that movie, was that movie where they froze him and then him and Wesley Snipes and they fucking.
What was that movie?
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Yeah.
And they were like singing "I love hot dogs," the wiener and song, and he was like, "Oh my god, somebody put me back in the cooler or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah, but that's fun. I know people now that want to be frozen. They're alive and they want to like be frozen now.
Honestly, it's not off the table for me. If that's something that's financially feasible for after I die, why the fuck not?
No, I mean people that are alive.
Oh, they freeze me and then bring me back 200 years from now.
Yeah, I mean legally they can't do that, but they want.
Do you think?
I watched a
I might do it, dude.
You would do it?
Fuck yeah! If I knew that they could bring me back 100 years from now.
Well, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, well I know that. But I'm just saying like
if it was guaranteed.
Even if it was slightly guaranteed, I think I would fucking.
Would you do it,
dude? Could you imagine?
Freeze myself.
It's like time traveling.
I don't know, man.
You have to. Well, you got kids and family and everything. I don't got shit. You know what I mean? Like I fucking freeze me.
I'd wait till like 60. You know what I mean? Until I lived a little bit longer, and then freeze my ass. Fuck it.
Do you think they'll?
I want to be in my prime, man, when I come back.
Do you think they'll come up with something ever where you're the age you are? Like say right now, 35.
Halt your aging.
And that's
give you an injection
at 35.
Give you an injection, just turns off the aging genes, and that's it.
Happen?
That'd be dope.
Can you think that can happen?
Ah, man, who knows?
Stop age
who knows what's gonna? I mean, the fucking possibilities.
I don't think it could because it wears out.
They figured out. I mean,
it's like a car.
No, it's just a gene that turns on and off in our body. I mean, if they could fucking learn how to manipulate the fucking.
Yeah, but you get cancer, you get something, you're fucked.
Because you see, like
but they could edit all that out. I mean, at a certain point in the future, when we come to where, you know what I mean, we can just control everything. You know what I mean? That's not unreasonable to fucking think about.
Because you see that, what's that disease called where like a little kid looks like he's 90? You see
that,
they age at this like gross rate.
Yeah.
And they die quick. Like unfortunately they pass away.
Or like that movie Benjamin Button.
Yeah, it's like that. But that's true. They have a
You ever see that kid? You ever see that little kid? He looked like a fucking bodybuilder. He was like 3 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid was jacked.
Yoked. Yeah, he's not like
Little
that anymore.
Hercules or whatever.
I've seen him now. You see pictures of him now. He's just like a regular dude. Yeah.
The kid was like 3 and
they
like
had
fucking
shooting him up with
fucking
right?
monster.
You think so?
Oh, well, can a kid get that fucking? I mean, he had like.
He had 6-pack abs. Fucking just. He was sculpted. Fucking.
Jacked. Yeah. I mean. Kid was like he was benching more than I could fucking bench.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy.
3 times his weight, that's not good for your bones and shit when you're growing.
No, it can't be. Yeah, no. I don't know. Well, I guess this was fun with the evolution thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We always get into some crazy shit.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you again, John.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy.